Alright guys, this is a Collecting Crusader here with another haul video. This is a book haul though, a little bit different than my comic book hauls I normally do. Um, so I've been starting to run this little like booth vendoring thing. I go to different places around the area and and sell mostly books, comic books, vinyls, different like collectible things I've picked up over time and that I actively go out and look for and pick up, just like secondhand stuff. It's pretty cool little thing. I enjoy doing it. It's fun to go out and like look for things to collect, to pick up, and then just try to sell them and try to make more than what you pay for them. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but overall, it's really just a fun kind of pastime slash extra little bit extra money in the pot in the wallet. Um, but today I'm going to go over some books that I picked up at like a local book sale. All these books I pretty much picked them up with the intention of trying to sell them, resell them. So like I'm not really I read, but I'm not like a huge. I'm more of a comic book reader. I'm not really a huge book novel reader. But we are gonna go over these books that I picked up and see. I'll try to give you a little bit of reasoning why I picked them up or what I think about them. And anyway, let's get into it. First one is this children's book. It's called Star in the Forest. It has a pretty cool little. I like the cover. It's a very nice cover. It's a children's book, and I've come to notice that children's books do pretty good. Like they sell pretty decent in the area I'm in. Like a lot of times I go to these flea markets or these trade shows, and there's a lot of women there, a lot of older women, or like grandmothers and mothers, and they pick books up for their kids. So I try to pick up books that are aimed towards younger audiences, girls, boys. I tend to pick more boys' books up just because that's more what I can relate to since I was a boy at one point in time. But every once in a while, I pick a book like this up that's more geared towards a young female audience. So there's that one. Next one is another children's book. We picked up a classic actually, James and the Giant Peach. So I also like picking up classics because they're classics. A lot of times parents and grandparents or whatever they want to introduce their kids to books or things they loved as a child. So these are usually a pretty good thing to pick up. Like really classic books from yesteryear. Here we have another children's book. This is one of those kind of high fantasy young reader books. It's a little bit older audience than the two I showed you before, but still, it's a pretty cool cover. It's in good condition. Sorry, this whole thing's gonna fall on me. There's a little Doctor Who picture I got back here. We have another fantasy young Arthur's book, Ranger's Apprentice. It's part of a series, but unfortunately, I didn't realize that. I usually try to pick up standalone books. They don't really need you to read other books, but I didn't notice that until later on. We have Dragons Spring Dawning. Yeah, this is a Dragonlance book, which is pretty much like basically like I think it's in the universe of Dungeons and Dragons. And fantasy books like this do pretty good. There's a lot of people out there that like to really read these, and they move pretty decently. This next one is Animal Life. This is kind of like a picture book. I picked this up because it was. I really only picked this up because I had a lot of like pictures and facts in it and stuff. These are the kind of books that like kids love. Our parents love to get for their kids. These books. They have lots of pictures and lots of information in them. They're like educational, so those are always good to pick up. Next, we have Surviving Financial Meltdown. This is more of a book for my older audiences. People really enjoy like reading these self-help books. These books that like can help them get out of financial or relationship problems, or dealing with their emotions and stuff. People just like self-betterment books. So I picked that up. I don't know if it's even a good one or not, but And all the books at this bookstore are dirt cheap. They're like between 25 and 50 cents to buy these books. So there's definitely profit to be had if people are interested in whatever I have to offer. Next we have this young fiction or ghost story for kids. Pretty cool cover. I like it. It's a little beat up. It's a little more beat up than I thought it was when I picked it up, but it's not really a big deal. Condition is not really a huge thing when it comes to books. I mean, it is, but unlike comic books, it's not a make or break it for a purchase. The Walking Dead, The Rise of the Governor, a little cool little novelization of The Walking Dead. I picked this up solely because of the title, because of the brand. It's a Walking Dead book. Walking Dead's a really highly popular show. So this is definitely a book that will catch somebody's attention if they're going through my wares and they see this. It'll definitely catch it. They'll be like, oh, I like that show. Maybe I'll try this book out, see if it's any good. So yeah. Next up, we have another Walking Dead book. Walking Dead: Fall of the Governor. I believe this is probably part of probably connects to the other one. But yeah, it's Walking Dead books, and you can't go wrong with that kind of stuff. Next, we have a kind of an illustrated classics thing. We have 1001 Arabian Nights. It's actually a really cool cover. It's a little beat up, but it's a really cool cover. Kind of balled just for the cover, man. Like, yeah, and the fact that it's a classic. Classics are kind of hit or miss at my shop, but sometimes I get people coming in, they're looking for stuff like my brother, for example. He's a real big classics hunter, so sometimes I can sell stuff to him if I can't get a buyer for it in my shop, because he likes going after especially like cool covers or older editions, hard to find editions of stuff. He'll look for that, and I do too. Like me personally, I have a personal collection of Tom Sawyer books, like all with different covers, and different editions. I just love that book a lot, so I like going after that. Here we have another book. This is actually a freebie. Like the library had a little stand with some free books, and I didn't want to be greedy and take them all because there's only like 6 there, but I did take like 2 of them. So yeah, this was one of them. I just grabbed the 2 that had the coolest looking covers because none of them were anything I knew anything about. So I just grabbed the one that had a cool cover. Because yes, you can judge a book by its cover. Sad to say, but that's what a lot of people do. Next up, we have this big old biography book about Johnny Cash. Now I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work on this one. It's got a bunch of marker on it and stuff. I'm going to see if I can clean that off, or maybe take the dust jacket off. I don't know, because it's not a big thing, but it kind of stuff like this, these markings, make it hard to sell this kind of book, because people don't want to buy it. People are not going to want to buy it, pay what I want to charge for the book if it's covered in ink or marker. So we'll definitely have to try to clean that up. Next up, we have this book right here. It's kind of hard. You can't really see the title because it's so tall on my camera. But this is kind of like a comic book. It's like a children's graphic novel, I guess. I'll open it up real quick so you can see. As you can see, it's got like a comic book format, word bubbles and all that. It's kind of interesting. I thought it was a cool buy. I never heard of it before, but it has pretty good art, and it's a pretty big sized book. So yeah, definitely something I'm pretty sure I can flip. Here we have this fisherman's book. It's a pretty cool cover. It's hard, and again, it's hard to see the whole cover. Saltwater fishing tactics. I live in Louisiana, so this is a pretty big fishing hunting area. So when I see a book like this, I always grab it because I'll find somebody that'll be interested in it, or it will at least pull some attention when I'm at the stand. Somebody will walk by and see it, and they'll definitely try to look through it, because we have a lot of fishermen around here. So yeah, it's a smart buy when you see something about hunting or fishing around here to pick it up. Next up, we have Alien vs. Predator War. Alien vs. Predator books, I kind of personally like them, so I pick them up. It's not so much something that I think sells really good. I mean, it's all right. They're pretty much. It's kind of like the Dragonlance books. There's certain people that look for these, that like these sci-fi books, but most of all, it has a franchise attached to it. And franchise books can sometimes, sell pretty good. So I picked those up. Kind of like the Walking Dead books. Somebody might pick it up just because it's a Predator book, and it has a kind of cool cover. Next up, we have Hunger Games. Yeah, you can't really say much about this. It's a classic, and I got this for dirt cheap, and it's a classic book. So, young fiction, or young authors. So worth it. Worth a pickup. We have another freebie book that was given to me. I don't know anything about this. It has a kind of a cool cover, so I picked it up, and it's in pretty good condition. So we'll put it out. We'll put it out in the store next time it comes around. Next time I'm out and about. A Nether Dragonlance book. This is I just like I said, I just picked these up because they're high fantasy and they're connected to the Dungeons and Dragons world, and people like Dungeons and Dragons. Beautiful Creatures. This was actually a freebie. I was gonna buy this one from the book sale, but I decided that I wasn't gonna buy it because it was too much. They wanted too much for it. Like they wanted basically the price that I thought I could get for it. So I decided I wasn't gonna buy it. But then the lady was like, "Well, you bought so many books from us here, just have it." They're really nice about doing stuff like that. They're really trying to get rid of a lot of their stuff. So yeah, I was like, okay, sure, I'll take it for free. So Beautiful Creatures. There's a movie coming out pretty well. It's actually been out for a little while. There's a movie that came out I think a year or two ago based off this book. I don't know if that movie was even any good, but apparently the book was good enough to make a movie out of. So, and it's a pretty big book, man. It's a nice big read. Next we have Our Magnificent Land. It's actually not. I thought this was a crease at first, but this is part of the cover. It's weird like that. This is basically like a fully illustrated kind of like fact book or educational book about different landscapes and about like the animals that live in those landscapes. It's a pretty cool book. Something some of my older audience might be interested in. So I picked it up. Here we have A Beginner's Guide to Golf. A lot of people like golf for some ungodly reason. So I picked this up, and yeah. I also tried to get a variety of books when I go to these book sales. I try not to pick up all. I try not to pick up just fiction or just classics. I try to pick up a variety of books because I like to have a variety of books when I go out. To these sales. To these trade shows and stuff. I like to have a variety of books to catch a variety of people. So. I like to have different books. That's why I didn't just grab every Dragonlance book they had there. I always grabbed 2 or 3, and then I grabbed a couple nonfiction books. Next up, we have a Tom Clancy book. It's a huge ass Tom Clancy book. Look at the thickness of this thing, man. That's what she said, but yeah, look at the thickness of this thing, man. It's got a little picture of him at the end. Yeah. So yeah, pretty. I don't know. This is a huge read. I would never want to read this. Tom Clancy's executive orders. Tom Clancy's a pretty well received author. So I try to pick up stuff that I see from well received authors. Like anytime I see a Stephen King book or a James Patterson book or a Tom Clancy book, I try to pick it up if I can get a good deal on it. Stephen King books are kind of hard to find. I think everybody just really likes him, and or his books are collectibles or something. Because you just don't, at least in my area, I just do not see Stephen King books. Like, not secondhand Stephen King books. You can find them brand new every day of the week, but you just don't find the secondhand ones at book sales and stuff. You really don't. Next up, we have Graves Inn. This is like it says a true ghost story, so I'm assuming it's like a biography type thing about a haunted house or something. It had a cool eerie cover, that's why I picked it up. Yeah, that's kind of like cover bait or clickbait if you're a YouTuber. Here we have this is like I believe this is like another self-help book, a sharp solution or these sharp solutions. So I picked this up. Yeah. Like I said earlier in the video, people like these self-help books. So it's always good to have. And then the last book is a kind of a cool little book. Um, we have crafts and hobbies. This is basically like a step-by-step guide on how to do certain hobbies. I thought it was a pretty awesome book. I might actually just keep this one because I do like a lot of hobbies. Um, telling by the, I haven't looked through it yet, but telling by the cover, it looks like it caters to like leather workers, jewelers, maybe like rock painting because I can see some rocks and stuff that are painted. Painting in general. I think sewing. They have some sewing supplies on here. It's just pretty cool book. And yeah. So yeah, guys, that was my haul. It's a bunch of different books from different genres and themes or whatever. And I did. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going through these, pricing these, and putting them out in the stand next time around. Um, I also have a lot of comic books I need to go through and price and everything. I'm gonna be doing a video soon on some comic books that I picked up recently, so stay tuned for that one. Also, stay tuned for my review videos on comics. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.